All right, so the question is 2025 a bull or a bear market? And I'm recording this in early March when a whole lot of panic has just happened. And right now, nobody knows. We're at a kind of inflection point, and it actually won't become clear probably for another 2 weeks as to this is going to be a bear market and what kind, or we're going to resume the bull. So, yeah, call me pessimistic, but I think there's just a lot of macro stuff that just macro headwinds that just count against crypto taking off on a bull market. I had my suspicions anyway, even going back to the end of last year before anyone got scared. I had my suspicions that 110 might have been the top, especially when you look at the pattern on the chart. Kind of looked like this weird symmetrical crab or head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it. It didn't, and every time it would go down and then come back up, the rebound, it just felt really weak. It just felt really weak, and I just thought we're not in the middle of a bull run, surely. I know you can get congestion and a sort of mid bull ranging, but I just felt there's just so much weakness in the market. So now the market's got a shock, not only in crypto but also the stock market. Obviously crypto basically mirrors the stock market, at least at the worst of times anyway. And yeah, things aren't looking good. We should know more in 2 weeks. I'm seeing so many people. The good analysts are showing evidence for both cases. There almost isn't a base case. It's almost 50-50 between bull and bear. Now I'm seeing plenty of people who are just like, oh no, you must have conviction, just buy, it's gonna go up, grab, slurp those dips, grab these bargains, it's about to shoot up. They have no evidence. Well, they have some evidence for that, but there's just as much evidence to say the opposite of what they're saying. So they're being very biased. And I'm a little surprised how boldly some people are claiming that we'll be shortly back into a bull market. They don't have the evidence to say one way or the other, in my view. It's nothing but, trying to encourage FOMO. And I'm quite surprised by it, actually. I would have thought more analysts would have just sat on the fence and said, look, honestly, I don't know. And normally I don't like it when analysts sit on the fence. They're just refusing to take a view. But in this very case is one of the rare exceptions where actually it's so difficult to know which way it's going to go that I actually respect analysts who sit on the fence. But normally I don't. Normally the situation is more clear. And you get these analysts who just sit on the fence because frankly they don't know shit. And they just literally don't know what to advise. They don't have an idea of where the market's going. Most of the time they just pretend they do, but they actually don't have an idea. That's why they don't really commit to anything. And now all of a sudden that people are panicking, suddenly they're committed to the bull run, which just sounds insane to me. I look forward to them having egg on their face when they could well be wrong. My view is that the market, I'm slightly in favor, not in favor, like I don't want it to happen, but I believe the probability is slightly more than half that we'll be in a bear market. But I don't know. If there's a bull market, fine. Even if there's a bull market, I'm now hearing the latest estimates. Last year people were like, oh yeah, it's gonna go to 1 million or 250k, and lowest estimate was 150k. And now I'm hearing estimates, oh, we're still in the bull run, but it'll only go to 120k. Like 120k, like what the hell? I mean, that means that we practically ended the goal. We had the bull run anyway. If it got to 110, if your revised estimate is now 120, come on, man. Then well, if you're calling for 120, that's basically the same double top that we had in the last cycle. We've basically reached the ath already. It just shows that people have no fucking, excuse my language, people have no clue about these price targets. They're just making them up. Better just not to have one. But at least have an opinion on the direction. You don't have to have a price target. But it would be good to at least normally say whether you're a bull or a bear. But of course, like I said, right now is a bit different because there's evidence for both. And the irony is that before they wouldn't give, well, they would give crazy price targets with no evidence. And aside from that, before, everyone just was saying bull, 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 you know, it's gonna shoot to the sky. And only in the midst of what looked like a bull run and presidential election and all that were people quite committed to the fact that it was a bull run, and before that they weren't. So yeah, it's all a bit weird, really. Yeah, will this year be a bull or a bear? I think there's going to be at least some bear element. So even if the best case scenario, it skyrockets, we go to 150k plus. If any of that happens, I think it's going to happen really quick, like within a month. And I think very quickly it's going to have that blow off top, and it's going to start the bear market. So I think that the bear market will have begun, if we're not already in it, then it will begin before the end of the year. That's my prediction. Very difficult to tell. We seem to be this. Another reason why I'm not especially bullish is because we seem to be ever delaying this bull run, and I don't understand that. I mean, what happens is you run out of time eventually, especially because Bitcoin follows a 4-year cycle. So yeah, I don't know. You can't delay a bull run for me. I mean, you'll run out of time, right? The cycle needs to restart, and I kind of feel like we're already past that point where there was still a chance of a bull run. Like, it's got to happen. Like, for there to still be a bull run, it's got to. I know that there's some people on the internet saying, well, it can happen either early in the year or later in the year. Well, early in the year, it's not going to happen. And I don't buy that it's going to come later in the year either. I think it's too late by then. So for me, it's got to happen in the next month or two. And if it does, and hopefully I'm going to catch it, but I have a sneaky suspicion that we just keep pushing out the date, and I just think it's one of those things where you keep pushing out your estimate, and then suddenly you're like, well, what the hell? It never happened, or that was it, November, December, that was it. I see a lot of people thinking this now, that they're now thinking that was it, that was the bull run. So therefore, if that was the bull run, we're now in the bear, we're now in the bear market. Simple as that. And I think it just caught people by surprise how short the bull run was, and how it didn't go very high. That there's a little bit of denial at the moment. People just don't want to believe that the bull run's over. I think that's a pretty strong feeling. And the sooner that you accept it, the more you realize, okay, it happened, it was over in no time, and we're now in the bear market, and we've been in the bear market for a couple of months already. We just didn't want to believe it because of our denial. This is why I'm trending more towards it being a bear market. But who knows, I could be wrong. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled in case it's a bull market. And I'll be curious, depending on when you listen to this recording. As I say, it's March 2025 now. It would be funny to listen to this back next year and see what came true. And maybe you are already listening to this later in the year or even next year. Then let me know what happened. Alright, thanks for listening. Let me know what you think. Give it a like. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.